Welcome back to ICT Kenya. This is our today's algorithm problem. An organization wants to increase employees' salaries. If an employee earns 70,000 shillings or more, they receive 5% increment. If the salary is between 50,000 and 70,000, they get 8%. Less than or equal to 50,000, you get 10% increment. From the look of things, the algorithm should first read the total number of employees. Then for each employee, read the current salary, compute the increment, and finally display the current salary, increment, and new salary. So before we begin, here is a beginner's tip. Whenever you see keyword like total number of or total population, or you see a word like for each or every student, they usually tell you that the problem needs loop knowledge because the same steps are repeated several times. Let's begin with the flowchart. Then after that, we do the pseudocode. We start the program, then we declare the variables we will use. That is the total number of employees. Then we informed the program should then read the current salary of each employee. Since we will process every employee, we initialize our loop counter and then read the current salary for employee number one. We use a parallelogram to do so, show reading process. After reading the current salary of the first employee, we start comparing with the rates which has been given here. We use diamond symbol to show comparison or decision making. The first check is the salary greater than 70,000? Anytime you are doing decision making, always start with the largest value to the lowest value. Don't start with less than 50,000. Start with highest value. Then from this case you have seen, if salary is greater than 70,000, then increment is 5%. And as you have seen, we use a rectangle to denote processing activity. Finally, we shall display current salary, increment, and the new salary. That means we already have the current salary here and we have the increment. That means you also need new salary. New salary is equals to increment plus current salary. The second check is greater than 50,000 and less than 70,000. And this is demonstrated here. Current salary greater than or equal to say 50,000. So if the salary was greater than 50,000, then increment will be current salary times 8%. A new salary will be the increment plus the current salary. But in decision making, it is either we get a true or a false. This is called Boolean expression. So what about if not true? So if the current salary is not greater than 50, and again it is not greater than 70, then it means it is less than 50,000, and therefore this is what takes place. Increment is 10%, and hence here is the processing activity to take place. The last thing which should happen for each employee is display current salary, increment, and new salary. Again, we use parallelogram to show output. All the three paths meet at some point here. This is called a connector. After the three paths have met, they have to give an output here. And this is the expected output: current salary, increment, and new salary. Remember, this was employee number one, counter number one. Since we had set total employees, now the next thing is, after reading the first employee, we check, is this counter less than total employees? This question can be either true or false. So if counter is less than employees, we have to increment it by 1 so that another employee may be considered. If counter was 1, now counter becomes 1 plus 1, which is 2. If counter was 2, it becomes 3. In this, the counter goes back again to the top. But the main question is, up to which point? Is it before setting total employees and counter, or before current salary, or before comparison? The question guides us. Then perform the following for each employee. Each employee, read current salary. So the repetition should happen from reading the current salary. Therefore, that is where we are supposed to intercept. So that is where many students miss the mark. Wrong interception. But for the other case, if the counter is no longer less than total employees, the program should stop. And here we use this symbol known as terminator. This is an arrow. This is terminator. This is diamond symbol for decision making. This is rectangle to show processing. And this is a parallelogram to show either input or output. This is a connector to connect different paths. We already have the flowchart. The pseudocode will follow the same procedure, same logic as the flowchart. Let us have it here. We begin by reading the total number of employees, then set our counter, which will be looping until it is equal to the number of employees. We read the current salary of an employee, then we check if the current salary is greater than 70,000. Then we calculate increment by multiplied by 5%, then the new salary. Then we check the next check, else if, as we did in the flow chart here, multiplied by 8%. Then the last option, which is multiplied by 10%, we don't need to use else if, even though there will be no problem, because we'll be repeating ourselves. So just use the keyword else. Else means it is neither in the first category or the second category, so obvious in the third category or the last category. Then end if, that is the end of if. Then we have seen after the calculation, this is our end if. Meet here, display current salary, increment, and new salary. Then after that, we checked, is the counter less than total employees? If yes, add counter by 1. Otherwise, stop. So in this case, we're going to do it different. We're going to say counter plus 1. And that means we should have done something here. So here we use a looping control structure known as while loop. So while counter is less than total employees, then do what? All of this process. Then after that, counter is equals to counter plus 1, then end while. So the program begins with a total employees, then counter is set to 1. Then we use this looping control structure keyword. While counter is less than total employees, do everything which is italicized in this context. Then after that, counter increases by 1. So the moment the counter is no longer less than total employees, then the while will end. And this marks the end. Flowchart helps us to visualize the solution, but the pseudocode describes the same solution using English-like statements. And both of them make coding very easy. Because next time I'm going to use either the flowchart or the pseudocode to come up with a real working program. If you'd like to see the actual program in code, I have pinned it in the first comment below this video. So if you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ICT Kenya for more programming algorithm tutorials.